So a couple days ago I made a video and I was talking about the differences between charging a high price and getting fewer customers, or charging a lower price and getting more customers. Of course, you know, you get the standard people that know everything about everything. You're an idiot, you're never going to make any money. And they always spell "your" wrong. It just amazes me as many times as I point out. Look, here's the thing. I don't care if you have bad grammar or write bad grammar. I really don't care. But if you're going to call somebody an idiot, at least don't be such an idiot that you use bad grammar. It would kind of imply who the idiot really is. But anyway, I'm an idiot because I don't know how to charge correctly. I'm never going to make any money. Well, one person said, it's a good thing you have it. It's a hobby business because you're never going to get any money. And the thing is I am making money. That's what's the funny thing, is I am making money. And from what I can tell, I'm making more money than most of these people on YouTube and Facebook and all these places. Not the big YouTubers, the little guys that I've been mentioning in these videos. Because all they do is complain that they're not getting any work because nobody wants to pay for these cheap mowers. So to give you a little bit of recap without going into a lot of detail, I was on this live feed. I'm also on Facebook groups. But on this live feed specifically, they were all complaining about these low-quality lawnmowers and how it's not worth fixing them anymore. And so they're saying that their customers would rather go buy a new lawnmower than spend $700 to replace it. A camshaft. Now, I think I have a camshaft here. Let's see if I can find it real quick without wasting all your time. So this is a camshaft. It's a broken camshaft. It's one that I replaced. What happens is you have a compression relief on here, which this one is missing. It's right here that flaps back and forth. And so on a Briggs, these regularly break. It costs $150 to get a new one, plus the labor cost. I can do it in about an hour, hour and a half, 2 at most. If it's a Cub Cadet, sometimes of course they have Kohler engines, not Briggs. But if you know the muffler's in the way, it's got a lot of grill guards, it could take 2 hours. But you get the idea. It just doesn't take long to do. You got to take the engine off, flip it upside down, drain the oil, take the camshaft off, put a new one on, button it all back up. So for an OEM, it's $150. Now you can buy an aftermarket. Now the problem with the aftermarket is these lobes right here. Sometimes these lobes will spin on you. You might see that there's some grooves right there. Those grooves, it's a press fit lobe. Those grooves can strip on the aftermarket. So a pretty simple solution is you put a weld on each side of this. That way it balances out on both lobes. And you can get these for like 30 bucks aftermarket. And what you would do is you would tell the customer, hey, you can buy an OEM that has a fairly good success rate. Remember, the one that's broke is an OEM one, so don't forget about that. And you can pay $150 for it, or you can get an aftermarket one that I'm not going to guarantee, and it could break for $30. Give them the choice to make a decision. You know, if you think about it, for $30 and my labor cost, which is next to nothing, you could do this twice for an OEM one. I mean, they can break, so. But these people are complaining, oh, these engines are junk, nobody wants to work on it. Well, I asked one person, how much do you charge to change one of these? $600 all day long. $600 is very unreasonable. I would be 200, maybe 250, and if it was OEM, I would be on 100 bucks. It just isn't that hard to do. It's easy. I would, and speaking of all day long, I would do these all day long. I'd make a fortune. They have 2 problems. 1, they're charging too much, and 2, they refuse to use aftermarket and make it work and tell their customers, look, it's going to be cheaper for you if you buy aftermarket. I'm just not going to warranty it. I would never use that junk. So not only is the engine junk, the aftermarket's junk, everything's junk, and they just want to get rich. That's what it is. They don't want to work. I enjoy doing this. I've noticed this about the tradesmen. I met a plumber a while back. He came over here, he wanted to get a tire fixed for his lawnmower. And he was talking about how much he just can't stand running around all the time doing this plumbing work, and just, well, then why are you doing it? I don't get it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Well, because it pays good. That's why. So they just complain. Everything's about a complaint. So I made that video the other day, so I wanted to tell you what Backroad said, and it made absolute sense to me. He said, there's a little story. Two guys decided they were going to walk around and collect change off the ground. One guy collected the pennies and nickels and the dimes, and the other guy said, no, I'm just going to stick to quarters and dollar bills. Well, guess who made more money that day? Right, the guy who collected all the change, the quarters, or the nickels and the dimes and the pennies, because there's more of those laying on the ground than there is the quarter. Somebody drops a quarter, they're going to pick it up. Somebody drops a dime, they're like, who cares? So there again, by focusing on the smaller amount of money, you're going to make more money. So I've been doing a lot of research, really trying to figure out what I want to do with my pricing next year. Carolyn and I have talked about raising our prices a bit, not a lot, just a bit. There's two things going for us. If we could raise our prices $10 an hour, and we have the ultrasonic cleaner, which means I don't have to buy carburetors as much next year. I can just take them off, put them in the cleaner, wash them, and bring them back out and put them on, and it's off and running, and get the service done a lot quicker because I don't have to order a carburetor. I think we could really do well, I mean really well next year. But I don't want to just arbitrarily raise prices and it significantly hurt us. Now the other thing is if I notice that it's going to hurt us, I can just immediately drop it right back down to the original price that we were at. The other thing is I don't get a lot of people asking what we charge per hour. Maybe one or two per year, because it really doesn't matter what I charge. What I always tell them is, look, it's better if you bring the mower over to me, I do a diagnostic for free. I'll let you know what it's going to cost to fix, and then we can go from there. They seem to like that better than me telling them a price. Well, okay, yeah, I charge X dollars per hour, and, well, how long is it going to take you to fix my mower? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. Could take an hour, could take 6 hours. So, it's just better to say, oh, I'll diagnose it for free. Now, I know all the people out there that are just smarter than I ever will, because you're an idiot, with the "you're" spelled wrong, will tell you, you got to do a diagnostic fee. There are times that doesn't pay off. Like this here, right here, I didn't make any money on. I went through a fairly thorough diagnostic, but it turned out that it had a bad cylinder in it. And I'm not going to get any money for it. Of course, now, it doesn't appear that he's going to come pick this thing up, which means I have a free chain. I don't know. It needs sharpened. And, yeah, it needs sharpened. And a pretty nice looking bar. That bar is in pretty good shape. There's not a lot of wear marks on it. A little bit right there, but not bad. So, if anything, I made money on this, just with the bar. So, I mean, you spend $50 on a bar, I don't know, $20 or $30 for a chain. If I can sell that to someone, then I've made money. So I don't know if the diagnostic is really important. But the thing is this guy has already brought me 3 pieces of equipment in the past. This was the 4th. So, I don't see the point in chasing him down and make him pay money when he's already paying me money on a regular basis. So repeat customers, I think, is a good thing. Now, if I were to go try to tick him off, say, no, you're going to have to pay me for that diagnostic, he'd be like, well, it doesn't run. And it's not that he wouldn't pay it. I'm sure he would. But in the back of his mind, the next time he wants to bring a lawnmower over, he's going to be like, Well, if I take it over there and it's not fixable because it's got a bad cylinder or it's not worth fixing, then I got to pay, and it's just not worth it. I'll just go get a new chainsaw. So to me, once again, lowering the price of a service will end up getting me more money in the end. I really do believe that. So like I said, I've been doing a lot of research. So I Googled it. Is it better to charge a high price to get fewer customers, or is it better to charge a lower price to get more customers? And everything I read, even including the AI, which gave lots of references to different web pages, all said that you should charge more and get fewer customers. And they gave a variety of reasons. People are going to have a better perception of you. They're going to think you have a higher quality. But in that video I made 2 days ago, I told you, look, if there's two companies sitting right beside each other, 100 feet apart, and they both have equal quality, and one guy's charging $10 less than you, you're not going to get any business. So I just didn't understand this. So I went to the next step, logical conclusion of my thought process. If it is better to charge more and get fewer customers, then why does Walmart lower their prices cheaper than anybody else? And it's like, Google AI just doesn't even connect the dots, of course. Oh no, Walmart, and the thing is, Walmart's $1 billion to $100 billion company. I don't know, they're multi-rich, selling cheap garbage that everybody can afford. And they're constantly busy, constantly. So, of course, Google then said, well, Walmart focuses on volume of sales and bringing in customers. And so, okay, which one's right? Which one should I go with? Should I charge more or charge less? Well, with me listening to all these people on Facebook and YouTube talking about how the industry's dying because nobody's willing to pay for lawnmower repairs because it's all cheap junk that the stores are selling nowadays, the manufacturers are selling. Nobody wants to get their mowers repaired. They'll just go out and get a new one. Look, I'm in this. I think that if you're talking like that, then it should be a logical conclusion that you just lower your prices. In my mind, and I think this is very true because this is how I would do it. If I had a lawnmower that wasn't running and the guy wanted to charge me $500, $600, $700, $800 to get it fixed, I would think, wait a minute, I could go on Facebook Marketplace, pick up a used mower for $200 or $300, and if it lasts a season, it would still be cheaper than the repair of the mower. So my thinking is yeah, just replace it. If it's that much garbage and it's going to cost that much to get it fixed, I mean, we're talking half the price of the mower on a repair. I don't see it. To replace this one little piece, you're going to charge nearly half the cost of a brand new mower. Not worth it. And these people don't understand. I told you in that video the other day, guy said, well, what you charge isn't even going to buy me breakfast. What you charge isn't going to buy anything because you're not making any money. I mean, I just don't even understand this. I mean, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. How am I an idiot? I'm making money and the others are not. I don't get it. I don't understand this philosophy that I'm the idiot because I'm making money. It's very weird to me. But a lot of people think this way. I'm not doing that for less than $1 million an hour. Well, then you're not doing it. This is our society right now. Our society's been this way for a long time, where nobody wants to work and everybody wants to get paid $1 million not to do it. The other thing I've noticed is with these lawnmower mechanics is they really don't know what they're doing. The reason they want to charge $600 is it's going to take them 4 or 5 days to remove the engine. I mean, half these guys are so overweight. There's no way they can get up and down real quick to, change out the, take the bolts out from underneath there, take the deck off. It's going to take them forever. But you can Google what the average time is to do something. all you got to do is Google, how long does it take to remove a camshaft from a Briggs & Stratton 17 horsepower engine? Hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, if you're charging $100 an hour and it's going to cost $600. So let's think about this. We'll subtract 150 from 6, because that's what the camshaft is. So subtract that 150. So we're down to 450. So it's going to take you 4.5 hours at $100 an hour to replace that camshaft. 4.5 hours. What are you doing with all that time? You're not working. No, what you're doing is chewing the fat, having a drink of beer, smoking a cigarette. So I'm not convinced that charging more and getting fewer customers is the way to go. I'm just not convinced of it. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over my other channel, we appreciate it. Go check out. So if I can inspire you to think about it, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.